Voice actor ProZD spent years saying actors should only voice their own race. Then, once studios actually started listening to him, he claimed that he couldn't find any work. Now he's facing backlash for voicing a white character. This mess is exactly why voice acting should be about merit and not identity. Salam, my name is Mustafa. I am the solo game developer of Sabr Path. Currently, I work on small independent games. I have one game on Steam. I'm working on another one that I'm trying to release soon. And in the past, I worked in the AAA industry. In case you aren't aware of this situation, I'll give you a quick recap. I'm talking about Sungwon Cho, also known as ProZD. He made a name for himself through his YouTube skits, basically making fun of anime tropes as well as video game tropes. He eventually was able to get into voice acting. Sungwon Cho, aka ProZD, I did see in an interview that he advocated for more authentic casting. And he says that we have a long way to go with the authentic casting as well. This interview took place in May of 2023. But in October of 2023, that exact same year, he complained on Twitter and basically said they don't want you to audition for anything but the Asian character because the others are drawn as white. The Asian role was described as Middle Eastern, Southeast, or Southeast Asian. And this is exactly why authentic casting for a voice acting role is a problem. If you're advocating for voice acting roles only to be given to people who match the character, then of course this is the result. These capture the core problem of this controversy. His frustrations of being typecast and not being allowed to audition for a role because he doesn't physically match the character. And very recently, he got cast as a character in Knights of Guinevere, which many people are claiming looks like a Caucasian-looking character. He got lots of backlash, people mocking him for not being authentic to the character. No one cares how authentic the voice actor is to the character. This is common sense when it comes to the audience of video games and animation. But when it comes to video games, Hollywood, and anime, they're pretending that the audience wants the voice actor to match the character. This is why in X-Men 97, they basically brought back the entire cast to voice the characters except for Jubilee because the original voice actress was not Asian. Who knows, maybe Sungwon Cho wanted to advocate for authentic casting because he assumed all anime characters are Asian. But are they really Asian? I'm going to make the argument that most animes are racially ambiguous. You look at a lot of anime characters and you can't even tell what race they're supposed to be. Anime in general is very stylized. In many cases, you don't see specific racial traits. Yes, there are many instances where we can tell a certain character is a specific race, and sometimes those characters are very racially insensitive. But then a lot of times you have characters that you have no clue what they're supposed to be. Like, for example, this character from Bleach. Is she supposed to be black? Is she Indian? Is she Mexican? Is she Vietnamese? Who knows? She just has brown skin. You can't really tell what she's supposed to be. And if you can't tell the race, then why does it even matter? It doesn't. Both versions of Kratos, the original version as well as the newer redesigned version, are both voice acted by black guys. Nobody cares that the voice actors weren't Greek. The only thing that mattered was that the voice brought the character to life. Voice acting was never about the actor matching the character, and the audience never cared. Examples like the Japanese version of Goku being voiced by a woman. Young boy characters like Bart Simpson, Bobby Hill, and Ash Ketchum were all voiced by women. James Earl Jones voiced Darth Vader, and he brought that character to life. James Avery, who's best known as Uncle Phil, played Shredder, a Japanese man, in the original Ninja Turtles cartoon. And then we have Phil LaMarr, who's played a wide range of characters because he has great range. He's played Samurai Jack, who is an Asian, as well as Aquaman, and many other characters, but nobody cared because he did a great job with those voices. We're gonna get back to Phil LaMarr very soon. The point is, identity politics should have nothing to do with the voice actor and the character because audiences don't care. The only people who care are the ones who are trying to get the job and they want to change the rules so that's in their own favor. Such as Peter Dinklage. He benefited from being typecast into roles that poked fun of little people. And then once He made it big and got into Game of Thrones, and he was too mighty for that. When he was asked about Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, he said, quote, "They were very proud to cast a Latina actress as Snow White, but you're still telling a story of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. You're progressive in one way, but you're still making a expletive backstory about 7 dwarves living in a cave. What the expletive are you doing, man? Have you done nothing to advance the cause from my soapbox? I guess I'm not loud enough." After he made this complaint, there are numerous actors who are little people who said they are no longer able to get jobs because of Peter Dinklage's rant. He basically climbed up the ladder and then pulled it up when he got to the top, so no one else can get up there. And let's get back to LaMarr. Again, this man has lots of range. He is a great voice actor who's done so many good characters. He's an amazing talent, and that's why he's well known. This is what he says about casting talent. He says, quote, "In a perfect world, actors should be able to cast in any role they can believably play." So it sounds like he agrees. Anybody can play any character as long as the voice brings the character to life. But he says this, "But in reality, where white male actors dominate the field, industry figures should direct their energy towards correcting the structural imbalance." So what LaMarr is advocating for is actually worse than what Sung-Won Cho advocated for, which is authentic casting. Advocating for authentic casting has a logic to it, but it's a bad logic. At least it is a logic. But then when you're saying non-white voice actors should get preferential treatment just to make it more fair, then that's even worse. The logic doesn't even make sense. He's trying to say that voice acting is dominated by white people. When the population is 70% a specific race, then of course, when you look at the percentage of people who hold a specific job, then yes, the majority of them will be the majority of the race of that population. This is just common sense. If he wants to complain about a systemic problem with casting with voice actors, then why isn't he complaining about a handful of the same voice actors getting cast for everything, such as Nolan North and Troy Baker? Well, the reason why he's not complaining about that is because LaMarr also falls within that handful of people who gets cast for everything. These voice actors get all the lead roles because they're extremely popular. Their popularity leads them to getting more roles, just like LaMarr. But LaMarr doesn't want to break the system and make it so that he gets less roles, so less popular people get more roles. He just wants to advocate for a change that won't hurt him. Again, he worked his way up to the top. He's a great voice actor, but after he walked across the bridge, he wants to light the bridge on fire so no one else can cross it. They all want to change the system. They want to make it so that merit is no longer the priority for hiring a voice actor. The audience knows this doesn't matter. And this is why this was never a thing until very recently with these DEI initiatives. The attempt to give preferential to certain people as well as blocking off opportunities from other people. Let me know in the comments what you think of the situation. Should I only voice act Arab characters? Let me know in the comments below. Please hit like and subscribe. I'll see you soon. Take care. Salam.